What's going on, guys? It's Sean again. I picked up a used Leica M240 back in January of 2021, and with the 6-month mark closing in, I thought it'd be a good time to talk about my experience. First, we'll start with the camera itself. I bought a silver model, mostly because it was what was available at the time and within my price range. I paid just under $3,000 for my camera. It didn't come with any boxes or anything, but it was in nearly pristine condition. The first lens I bought for the system was the Voigtlander 50mm 1.5, but it got lost in the mail for a few weeks. Just when I thought it was gone forever, it resurfaced, but not until after I had purchased a 50mm Summicron. Before too long, I started looking at 35mm options, at first the Summicron, but the prices were higher than what I was ready for. Instead, I found a deal on the Carl Zeiss 35mm f2, and I took a leap. Honestly, the Zeiss has been basically glued to my camera ever since. It has quickly become one of my favorite lenses ever. Now, although I own the Leica Q, I started to look at 28mm options for the M240, because apparently I'm a glutton for financial punishment. I had tried out a Leica 28mm Elmer at a local camera store, and it really piqued my interest. But even at the $800 bargain price, I was still hesitant to spend so much on a lens that I didn't actually need. I ended up going with a Minolta 28mm f2.8, which I made an entire video about. Ultimately, this lens is not my favorite, but I think it offers a unique perspective and a very specific look. When it comes to my Leica M system, I think everything has been a great investment. Expensive? Yeah, without a doubt. But I do think I enjoy the process of creating images with the system I've built. The image quality is not without fault though. High ISO images do not keep up with the newer camera systems, that's for sure. I tend to limit myself to 1600 ISO in most situations because of this. The images I get from the camera have been some of my favorites though. I don't process my images too heavily in post, so I can't speak of the overall flexibility of highlights and shadows, but I will say that I've been impressed with the shadow detail so far. I do create 99% of my images in RAW just to have that extra flexibility, but I'd argue I hardly ever take advantage of it. So I guess to wrap this up, you may be wondering if investing in the Leica M240 is worthwhile. I'd argue yes. I found the experience of using the rangefinder very rewarding. The image quality still holds up in 2021. In fact, I've been using this camera almost exclusively for my own personal work. Still, I wouldn't feel nervous about delivering images to a client from this camera either. I think it still holds its own. Moreover, you can invest in quality lenses that can be used across a variety of camera bodies, including digital and film. And if you need to sell things later, the Leica name holds its value well. 6 months later, and I have no regrets from my purchase. If anything, I feel more engaged with the photographic medium than ever before. That's probably a little cliche though. Oh hey, if you're interested in following along with more of my day-to-day photography, check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Sean P. Bruce. Thanks again for watching.